My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Taurus. Happy, happy, happy birthday to all Tauruses in this world, to my beautiful followers and fledglings. But for today, I am Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. I'm going to be doing a general reading of past, present, future 9-card spread. I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck, clarify with the vampire deck, draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, then draw 3 yes or no answers for thee. So let's get started. Okay, the general card is the Tower reversed. Let's look at the first row, which is also your past. You start off with King of Pentacles, you in your strong suit, man or woman. Ace of Cups reversed. And 7 of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, what I saw for my beloved birthday Tauruses in this world, and to all of my beautiful followers and fledglings, is that you had some kind of like stability, but you were incredibly grounded and confident as the King of Pentacles. Now, this is pretty much about, being in a really powerful, strong, position, especially since we're still in your season. So, this could have also taken place, on the start of April 20th. And so the thing is, yeah, you did probably feel incredibly confident, but maybe, it's like next to confident, because it's like, one minute you feel like you're on top of the world and you have so much confidence, then the next day you pretty much feel like, oh goodness, what happened here, and because, it's, like ebbs and flows for that matter. It's like waves for that matter, because, one minute you feel like, oh yeah, I feel incredibly strong and confident, and then the next day you pretty much just think, oh my goodness, where did my confidence go, and stuff like that, because afterwards, with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like there was hesitancy that took place somewhere in your past. It could have been some kind of decision, it could have been some kind of feeling, sensation, any kind of, situation could have contributed to this moment. Because, it's like, yeah, I do love the fact that this came in either way, even though it did take place in the past. But this is also to remind you that, no matter what, you're always going to be the King of Pentacles, or even Queen of Pentacles for that matter. But either way, it's like sometimes, it's like when you're about to embark on any kind of like voyage, endeavor, quest, anything, that you're pretty much just kind of heading towards, that could always cause one to feel like, oh goodness, when you feel stressed or anxious about something, but especially with the hesitancy card. But we're going to have to keep going, but I'm going to be clarifying this part especially because I want to know exactly what happened. Because in current times, you do get the 3 of Wands reversed. Yeah, the Sun reversed. Now, I'm not allowed to show the Sun. And then you get the Queen of Cups. Okay, well, it's like, whatever, will contribute to the past regarding, first you have this kind of hesitancy that, took place in the past somewhere. In current times, you feel like that you're not really going out there into this world because, something, happened regarding that Ace of Cups moment in the past. Now, well, yeah, I want to know exactly more about what happened there. But anything, it's like if anything, really bad took place, whether it was even in the past for that matter, that could also still be resonating in current times because that's called like trauma, for example, scars. So whatever happened during that Ace of Cups, that could have also contributed, to you having no kind of confidence about when you get out or even move somewhere. And the thing is everything just looks dark and bleak because the sun is not shining. But yet, this is where your beautiful, loving Venus sign or even Venus planet comes in, to want to say, hey, Taurus, it's all going to be okay. Because, it's like, we're here for you. This is pretty much you probably giving you that beautiful pep talk of thinking, hey, don't worry about it because everything is just going to work out no matter what. We're going to be, putting in a lot of care, love, nurturing, and support. You could also have a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You have a friend or family member, whoever it is out there for that matter. But that's kind of what I saw is, it's like, yeah, sometimes, when you pretty much feel like you have no confidence, then the best, person who could be, supportive is the Queen of Cups. But we're going to have to keep going to the future. Okay, interesting. You do start off with the 4 of Swords reversed. This is about taking action. 7 of Swords. And the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Now, the thing is, it's like maybe you're kind of worried about finances in the future because I do see you leaving poverty. So there's going to be some kind of financial improvement taking place in your beloved future, my beloved Taurus, whoever I'm, speaking to in this reading and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like, I love the fact that you're finally taking action, because sometimes, any kind of love, support, care, or nurturing can pretty much just really benefit you to think, okay, I now have the energy and passion and drive within me to want to actually head out into this world. Now, I want to look into the Seven of Swords, because technically the Seven of Swords is kind of like a deceptive con artist kind of individual, but it could also be a really good strategist, or a really good planner for that matter, and that's why, this could also be contributing to you actually getting out of this financial problem in the future. I'm going to have to do some clarification, but so far I'm really happy with how this reading is going. Because regarding the King of Pentacles in the past, you got the Six of Skulls for that matter. So, what I see here is you received something and that gave you confidence, or since you had confidence, you were receiving something. Wonderful. Yes, this is probably some kind of job or career that really gave you stability. And that's what I love about, the earth signs, is you guys have this real stable, mindset and, any kind of, feeling for that matter. But it's pretty much just thinking, okay, it's like we are in a very grounded, down-to-earth, realistic, goal in this situation. So I'm just so honored and blessed to be giving you this reading, because the fact is, whether it was that you received something, or that, or anything, that you already had the confidence within you to actually receive something, that pretty much is really, contributed to this beautiful, situation that took place in the past. But it could also be that you gave something. And maybe, I'm wondering if that could have also contributed to the Ace of Cups reversed and the Seven of Pentacles. But we're going to be looking into that right now. The Ace of Cups reversed, the Emperor. Ooh, okay, well, this could have taken place during Aries season, But the thing is, what I see here is, this could have been maybe a divorce or a breakup from an Aries, or from, somebody who's like an authoritative, male figure for that matter. So I wonder, what could have contributed, to the situation? It could have been a breakup or a divorce from an Aries, or a powerful individual for that matter. But the thing is okay, I do see, it getting better eventually. It's like, okay, so this took place in the past and was probably a really negative situation. And maybe that could have also caused you to, lose confidence and faith within yourself, because there's hesitation afterwards. So I'm just wondering, what, this whole, Ace of Cups, because it's pretty much, a loss of some kind, but it could have also been, a lack of clarity, and also that your senses were a bit off regarding this situation. Because why would you have hesitation? And Six of Grails. Okay, so, maybe there was a bit of a uncomfortable situation, because the thing is, regarding this potential, problem or conflict, whatever it could have been, maybe you were with a really strong individual, man, woman, whoever it is that represents this Emperor person in the past, because, you're looking at the past, but you actually have this kind of hesitancy about it. So you're kind of looking at the past and you think, yeah, I kind of have this regret about the past, or this regret feeling is causing me to look back at how beautiful the past was, because the Six of Cups is a nostalgia card. It's looking at the past and thinking, oh, I remember those moments and they were just so beautiful. Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever could have contributed. Yeah, I'm so sorry if anything, could have, made you feel like that you're suffering, or that you have suffered in the past from regret of some kind. I mean, I know I've had moments like that personally myself. But yeah, it's like, okay, well, maybe that's, what could also be contributing to the Three of Wands in current times for that matter. Because for the Three of Wands reversed, you get 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So the thing is, it's like, maybe you don't have to get out in current times, because maybe, you are currently in a very beautiful, stable, grounded, happy home, happy hearth, happy family, but incredible confident situation. So maybe, it's like, maybe you don't have to get out into this world, or maybe make any kind of changes. Because, maybe you actually, told yourself, regarding that whole hesitancy, maybe potential regret feeling, that you pretty much just think, well, I'm not going to go anywhere, but because I feel incredibly strong and capable in current times, this is also one of your beautiful cards. It's the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Skulls. So I see a happy home, happy hearth, happy family, stuff like that. You can have so much love and support from your friends and family, but this is also a wonderful, beautiful confidence card as well. Because regarding the Sun reversed, you get the Daughter of Scepters, the Page of Wands. Whoops, I'm not allowed to show that. But the thing is about, okay, so maybe, it's like you are kind of heading down towards a temporary stormy situation. But the thing is, maybe you're heading down towards this, voyage because, you realize that, okay, yeah, you actually do want to make some changes in current times. Because the thing is, it's like, yes, my goodness. And yes, it's like the Ace of Cups, reversed, and the hesitancy and the regret of the Seven of Pentacles more or less just kind of motivated you and inspired you to actually, want to get out in current times, even though at first, maybe, you didn't, leave, with the Three of Wands, at first, because maybe, you were in the process of doing a lot of self-care, self-love, self-nurturing for that matter, because you are going to be doing that again. But this is up to you finally thinking, okay, I'm going to start taking action and stuff like that. I don't want to be, living in this negative, spiral for, so many times anymore. I want to actually start making changes in current times. Honorable. Because for the Queen of Cups, Two of Wands. So you actually get 3, 1, and 2 of Wands. Okay. Yeah, this is where you're actually now heading out towards actually wanting to take action of whatever it may be or could have been for my beloved Taurus, man, woman in this world. So the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's like sometimes you actually have to go back home, or sometimes, go into some kind of healer, part just to kind of heal, like your wounds, take good care of yourself, do a lot of nurturing and stuff like that, because, then that can more or less inspire you and motivate you to actually, have this, re-energizing moment to actually when you get out into this world and stuff like that. So maybe in the past, it's like there was a bit of, some setbacks or some kind of negativity or maybe some regret for that matter. And in current times, you're taking good care of yourself because maybe sometimes you do have to go back to your home base of wherever it may be. And now you're pretty much just actually, healing and, taking good care of yourself. And now you're pretty much just putting your, your travel gear back on. And you're going to be heading back out towards the Four of Swords reversed. Wonderful. Okay. Because for the Four of Swords reversed, you get the Nine of Pentacles. My goodness. You get the 10 of Pentacles, and now you get the 9 of Pentacles. Abundance, because you're finally taking action. It's like any kind of regret, any kind of like hesitancy, are really good motivators to have because, to actually, to want to make changes for, really good reasons and stuff like that. Because there is a saying, now I'm not so sure if it's a saying, but it says, once a situation gets too uncomfortable, that's the time when you need to leave and stuff like that. Because the thing is if anybody, is sitting in a nice, beautiful, comfortable situation, then eventually, it does get uncomfortable. It's like being in a nice, warm, bath, for that matter, and then eventually the water gets cold and then it starts getting a bit uncomfortable. That is the time to leave. And for any kind of other, realistic, or real, situation is when something, will really, is too uncomfortable for that matter, then it's time to finally take action, and that's what I see you doing, and that's kind of giving you this beautiful, fulfilling, abundant situation in the future. Because regarding the Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, heartbreak, okay. Yeah, the thing is, even though this is one of the cards, the thing is what I'm actually seeing you doing is you're actually planning something, but I want to know if you're going to have a happy ending because you do with the Seven of Grails. So what I'm actually seeing here is, it's like, yes, you are, heading towards, some kind of fulfillment of some kind, abundance, but this could also be you may be facing some potential con artist or con man, con woman, or any kind of, fake persona that's pretty much going to be, giving you some fake advice and stuff like that, and now you're pretty much, could be potentially dealing with some kind of heartbreak in the future. But yet, with the Five of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Cups, it's pretty much just actually saying no, and we're not going to follow this person because, we want to get out of this poverty situation. Now, poverty could also take, material possessions, but it could also be like comfort, love, and support for that matter, where you're pretty much, leaving all the negativity behind because you're actually being faced with beautiful options afterwards. So if this person is going to be trying to push something onto you, some kind of too good to be true idea or any kind of, situation or any kind of offering in the future and stuff like that, please ignore this 100%, because this person is pretty much just going to try to get something out of you, and then it's going to leave you heartbroken, just like it did with me. But yet, it's like if you pretty much can try to surpass that moment, it's going to get you out of this kind of negative spiral and head you towards beautiful opportunities in the future. Beautiful. Your special vampire card. King of Pentacles, the second King of Pentacles, yes. So the thing is, you know, that's why I'm here as your Vampire Tarot guide, because I'm more or less, you know, giving you sort of an idea of what the future could hold. Now, I do see a beautiful, you know, well, King of Pentacles, you and your strong suit, man, woman, whoever I'm referring to in this reading and stuff like that, but I do see abundance, I see stability, I see confidence and power within my beloved Taurus, man or woman, and that's what's also more or less contributing to you actually getting out of this poverty situation and dealing with a lot of options. So the thing is, you know, if you're about to be offered something, you know, by the Seven of Swords person, and it just seems too good to be true, I would just ignore that, because it could potentially lead to some kind of heartbreak in the future. Wow. Okay, now what does Oracle have for my beautiful Tauruses? Redemption, absolution, forgiveness, and penance. Interesting. Well, the thing is, you know, it's like, if you want to do penance, please live well and take good care of yourself. But if you want to do forgiveness, do a lot of self-forgiveness. If you want to have any kind of redemption, please redeem yourself in any way possible. Because the thing is life has no handbook. So, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, but that's why I'm here mostly, you know, to give you some kind of idea of what the future could be. However, you know, whatever you work on right now could also, you know, contribute to still a very beautiful, you know, powerful, strong, confident fulfillment in your future and stuff like that. But should you still pretty much just feel like, oh goodness, you know, the Seven of Swords individual just, you know, pretty much, I was just so drawn towards them. I know that feeling all too well. I mean, this was like kind of the vampire who turned me, though he did not promise me anything. He only just wanted to have a reading, but then I pretty much did not realize it was going to end up like this. So, you know, I do a lot of self-forgiveness and self-love and self-care for you know, for myself for many reasons. I mean, I am a brunette, so I mean, I love this card. But the thing is, you know, if you want to do a lot of self-forgiveness, do a lot of self-forgiveness, because the thing is sometimes, you know, yeah, a lot of humans, they could pretty much, you know, will be, you know, will dealing with, you know, wrong turns and stuff like that, or wrong, you know, opportunities and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that you are wrong, you know, or a failure in any way. You know, sometimes, you know, when you pretty much just think, oh, everything just looks promising, you know, it could be promising, but it could also be a negative promising. But that's why, you know, I'd like you to also consider, you know, any kind of offering, just to make sure that, you know, that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and that it's a realistic offering being presented. Okay. I'm going to finish off with 3 yes or no answers. Please feel free to pause this video and think about the questions you want answered. Because for number 1, you do get a no with the 8 of Cups. Oof. The 3 of Swords, indefinite no. My goodness, that had to come up again, didn't it? Okay, well, 2 no's. And then you get a no again with the Temperance reverse. You could also have Sagittarius somewhere in your star chart. Well, my beautiful birthday Tauruses, I'm going to have to leave it at that. But if this reading resonated, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for all my beautiful followers and fledglings for joining me. I love you guys so much. In a few days, I'm going to go back to love rings. So I'm going to go back and forth between general love. But I'm also open for personal readings. And if you want a personal reading from a vampirist, all you have to do is just post in the discussion box. And I'll respond to you with my email. And then we'll start the process from there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly.